6:15, this is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Niranjan Abesundara. Inter-provincial travel restrictions will come into effect from midnight today. The Minister of Health received special medical equipment to treat corona patients. Mr. Udegamapilla said the government will take all measures to control the spread of the coronavirus. The national operation to enhance facilities at hospitals which treat coronavirus patients is being successfully implemented. The new chairman of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation assures it takes steps for the progress of the institution and employees. In world news, COVID-19 serious cases hit record high in Japan. Sports news, Champions League, Portugal could host final rather than Wembley. Army Commander General Chavendra Silva said inter-provincial travel restrictions will come into effect from midnight today. Travel restrictions will be in place until midnight on 30th of May due to the recent upsurge of COVID-19 infections and fatalities in the country. However, essential services will not be affected. General Chavendra Silva said that inter-district travel restrictions may also be imposed, if necessary, after taking into account the pandemic situation in the country. The Minister of Health has received special medical equipment to treat corona patients. Those will be handed over to special hospitals tomorrow during a ceremony led by Minister Paitra Vaniarachi. The first stock of equipment included high-flow oxygen therapy units and syringe pumps. Stock equipment has been given by the Sri Lanka COVID Emergency Treatment and Health Prepared Project. Director of the project, Dr. Jayasundara Bandara, said all essential equipment needed to treat COVID patients will be given to hospitals in due course. Ms. Udegamapilla said the government will take all measures to control the spread of the coronavirus. During a cabinet press briefing today, he said government has paid attention on implementing future programs under a systematic program before taking strict decisions. He said necessary steps have been taken to take forward the country by managing the economy while controlling the spread of the pandemic. The national operation Samatasitin to enhance facilities at hospitals which treat corona patients is being successfully implemented. It is the concept of Mr. Basil Radapaksa. Under the program, temporary wards are being built at Watapitavilla, Minuwangoda, Kawatha, Panadira and Mirigama base hospitals and Ambanangoda, Nagoda, Koskama, Himbula, Navagamu and Mathura district hospitals. Temporary wards are scheduled to be built at Damadeniya General Hospital and the Mulleriyawa Teaching Hospital. These wards will be equipped with 50 beds and other facilities. Only funds of the Sri Lanka Pradhan Peramana and the people are used for equipment and constructions. The new chairman of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, Jampati Bandara Hinkanda, assumed duties this morning. Expressing his views after assuming office, he pointed out that immense service is rendered by the staff who contribute their time and energy for the betterment of the corporation. He said that changes will be effected in future for the progress of the institution and welfare of the employees. The new chairman said that he is prepared to accept any challenge and would work with any group that works for the benefit of the organization. Speaking on the occasion, SLBC Director General Chandapal Linage said the national radio is performing its duties by the people amid various challenges. The Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has inquired into the health condition of former Maldivian President Mohamed Nasheed. He has given a telephone call to the father, Mr. Nasheed, and wished for a speedy recovery. Mr. Nasheed is undergoing medical treatment at an intensive care unit of a hospital in Maldives following a bomb attack on him on the 6th in front of his house. Mr. Nasheed was the Maldivian president when the Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa was the president of Sri Lanka. The Cabinet has granted approval to obtain $200 million as the third installment of an agreement between the Government of Sri Lanka and the Asian Development Bank to finance a second consolidated highways investment program. The paper submitted by the Prime Minister in his capacity as the Minister of Finance was tabled at the Cabinet meeting held yesterday. The government has entered into an agreement with the ADB to obtain $900 million for the implementation of the second consolidated highways investment program. Under the program, plans are underway to renovate and maintain 3,400 kilometers of rural access roads in the eastern, northern, Uva and western provinces and to renovate 340 kilometers of national roads. The entire program is scheduled to be completed by 2027. The Sri Lanka Navy, in coordination with the health authorities, began administering the Sinopharm vaccine to government and private sector employees engaged in essential services at two locations in Gampar district today. The Navy deployed 2 medical teams consisting of naval doctors to carry out the vaccination program in the Gampha district. The first dose of Sinopharm vaccine was administered today at the Office of Medical Officer of Health, Wattala, and the Ekala Nivasipura in Jala. 2 frontline workers are both public and private sector from 30 to 60 years of age. The Association of Medical Specialists and the current practice of isolating communities at the Gramilidari division level is neither preserving economic activity or controlling transmission of the COVID. The Association of Medical Specialists had requested President Gotabaya Rajapaksa to impose lockdowns, at least at the district level, to restrict people's movement with immediate effect. In a letter to the President, Association of Medical Specialists President Dr. Lakkumar Fernando said they believe that the time is suitable to revisit Sri Lanka's management strategy of COVID before it rages out of control. Kuwait has imposed travel restrictions on several South Asian countries, including Sri Lanka, with immediate effect. Kuwait has announced it has decided to stop all flight arrivals from several South Asian countries until further notice, which also includes Bangladesh, Pakistan and Nepal. The decision by the Gulf State Cabinet did not include cargo flights. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Digital accounts can now be opened in 10 minutes. People's Bank Digital Banking, your ultimate convenience.
The Technology Faculty of the University of Sri Javadanapura and Tropical Biosphere Research Center of the University of Rikusu, Japan, has agreed to enter into a memorandum of understanding for developing partnership in the fields of development of inter-institutional research and innovation programs, facilitation of staff and the student exchange programs, as well as an exchange of experience. Accordingly, Cabinet has granted approval for the proposal submitted by the Minister of Education to enter into a memorandum of understanding in this regard. The University of Colombo and the University of Taylors of Malaysia has entered into an agreement to implement a research project utilizing male and female children of 9 countries in Asia in regard to the extension and nature of television publicity of non-hygienic food. The University of Taylors of Malaysia may finance activities performed by the University of Colombo. Therefore, the resolution submitted by the Minister of Education for entering into a memorandum of understanding for the implementation of the proposed project was approved by the Cabinet of Ministers. The Consulate of Sri Lanka in Milan, Italy, will be moving to its new premises at Via Giovanna di Udine, Milan, on the 18th of May to provide better facilities for the Sri Lankan community residing in northern Italy. The new premises will comprise of spacious facilities for the general public, specifically in view of the present COVID-19 pandemic situation. The location has better accessibility for visitors, being situated in an area in Milan with public transportation and less congestion. And that ends local news for now.
Debit card, mobile and internet banking along with cardless cash facilities can now be opened in just 10 minutes with no form filling with People's Bank Digital Banking.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Police said that persons who cross provincial boundaries during the period of travel restrictions will be prosecuted under the criminal law. Police media spokesman D. Jadith Rohana mentioned this addressing a media briefing held in Colombo today. He urged the public to restrict travel between the provinces from 12 midnight today and to avoid unnecessary travel. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
On to Watchlight, Sri Lanka Railways decided to suspend interprovincial services effective from midnight today. Decision comes after the government announced that interprovincial travel restrictions would be imposed from tonight in a bid to control the spread of the coronavirus. In addition, interprovincial bus services provided by Sri Lanka Transport Board and the private bus operators will also be suspended from tonight. Well, that came to in Watchlight. On to world news. COVID-19 serious cases hit record high in Japan. At least 9 people killed in a shooting at a school in Russia. Israel launches new air raid on the besieged Gaza Strip. Officials at Japan's health ministry say number of seriously ill coronavirus patients across the country has hit a record high of 1,177. The figure, which includes people on ventilators, has more than tripled over the past month or so. In the capital, Tokyo, officials are reporting 925 new cases. That's the largest tally for a Tuesday since January. An emergency declaration covering Tokyo, Osaka, Hyogo and Kyoto prefectures was supposed to end today, but it will now remain in place throughout the end of this month. At least 9 people, 8 of them children, have been killed by gunfire at a school in the Russian city of Kazan. A teacher also died in the accident 800 kilometers east of Moscow. 2 people reportedly opened fire and a 17-year-old boy is said to have been detained. An explosion was heard and it was unclear what had happened to the second attacker. Kazan is in the mainly Muslim Republic of Tatarstan. Israeli military renewed its bombardment of the beleaguered Gaza Strip this morning, targeting several areas after rockets were fired from the enclave. The new attacks come hours after at least 24 Palestinians, including 9 children, were killed in overnight Israeli airstrikes on the Strip after Hamas launched rockets from the coastal territory towards Israel, according to the Health Ministry of Gaza. And back to the headlines of the world news. COVID-19 serious cases hit record high in Japan. At least 9 people killed in a shooting at a school in Russia. Israel launches new air raids on besieged Gaza Strip. And back to development news. The World Bank has launched public consultations to update its systematic country diagnostic in Sri Lanka. This online platform will enable the bank to engage with the Sri Lankan public and development partners and seek their views on the most pressing development opportunities and challenges for the country. Systematic Country Diagnostic is a country-specific report compiled by the World Bank Group in consultation with the respective national authorities, stakeholders and the public. This report formed the basis of the country partnership framework, the strategy which outlines how the World Bank's group engagement with the country can best contribute towards achieving the goals of ending absolute poverty and boosting shared prosperity in a sustainable manner. That was development news.
Sports News is brought to you by...
When Aya bought a motorbike, he bought 2 helmets. So sweet of him. I'm sure the other one is for me.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan neve.
The First Capital Research said the new capital injections will give the National Development Bank the much sought-after push to expand its loan book by as much as 14% in the fiscal 2021 and 2022, nearly doubling the rate of bank expanded loans in the pandemic-stricken year in 2020. Research firms say that the bank intends to utilize the entirety of its fresh capital to expand its loan book in the ordinary course of businesses, including its continued expansion in the micro and small and medium enterprise portfolio. That was Business News.
My wife always sets a full lunch table, even if it's just the 2 of us. She always expects people to drop by, like maybe the army.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchie Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchie Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan neve.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Football news. Portugal is a strong candidate to host the Champions League final after UEFA did not gain guarantees or exemption. It wants to move the game to Wembley. UEFA, UK government officials and the Football Association met today to discuss moving the game between Chelsea and Manchester City from Istanbul. UEFA decided it will be moved after Turkey has put on England's red alert list, meaning its fans cannot travel. Portugal is on the green list, so fans will be able to attend on the 29th of May. Cricket news. England expects players to be available for their 20 World Cup build-up if there is a clash with the rescheduled Indian Premier League. One possible window for the postponed IPL is before the T20 World Cup in October, when England is due to tour Bangladesh and Pakistan. England's managing director, Ashley Giles, said if those tours go ahead, he would expect the players to be there. Basketball news. Washington Wizards point guard Russell Westbrook broke Oscar Robertson's NBA record for the most career triple-doubles in his side defeat by Atlanta Hawks today. Westbrook reached double digits in rebounds, points and assists for the 102nd time in his career. The 30-year-old finished the night with 28 points, 13 rebounds and 21 assists. That was sports news. Economic news. Courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Senior representatives of the delegation, German Industry and Commerce in Sri Lanka said although trade relations between Sri Lanka and Germany have grown deep over the years, there still prevails untapped markets, especially in the organic products segment. German Industry and Commerce Chief Delegate Andreas Hagenbrother noted that while Germany has been in Sri Lanka's third largest export market for many consecutive years, there remains room for further improvement. That is economic news.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Met Department says showers or thunder showers at times will occur in the Sabaragamu and Western provinces and in the Puttalam, God and Mathura districts. Shower thunder showers will occur at several places in the central, Uva and Eastern provinces and the Kurunagara and Hambantota district during the evening or night. Fairly falls around 7 millimeters can be expected some places in the Sabaragamu, Central and Uva provinces. That was the weather report.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And back to the headlines of the news. Interprovincial travel restrictions will come into effect from midnight today. Ministry of Health Services receives special medical equipment to treat corona patients. Minister Uday Goimapalla says that government will take all measures to control the spread of the coronavirus. National operation to enhance facilities at hospitals which treat coronavirus patients is being successfully implemented. The new chairman of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation assures it takes steps for the progress of the institution and the employees. In world news, COVID-19 serious cases hit a record high in Japan. Sports news. Champions League. Portugal could host final rather than Wembley. That in the news. Back to your friend and mine, Chandima Vidakone. Over to you, Chandima.